Man, what's going on with you guys, man? Welcome to the channel, man. Hopefully everything's solid with you guys. And before we get into the content, man, make sure y'all go subscribe to my Patreon for exclusive content. That link is in the description. Appreciate you. All right, so I got a video that I want to react to. And before we get into that video, I first want to just say this. It's super important that we understand, like, just because a woman looks hella good and she fine and her skin look good and she got some fat back there, it's important that we don't feel like we have to come from this place of trying to prove ourselves. Oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Because when you do that, you just give off cornball, you a goofball, you a lame type energy. And a woman does not respect that. So a lot of times we try to buy, like I remember Nicki Minaj had a song back in the day, I think with Meek Mill, it's called Buy a Heart. And it's talking about how you can't buy a woman's heart. You can't buy love. You know what I'm saying? And why would you even want to put yourself in a position to be a trick? So that's stupid. You want a woman to like you because of your authenticity. You want a woman to rock with you because of your ambition, your drive, because of who you are, your character. Not a woman rocking with you because of your money. You know what I'm saying? That's the purpose of my channel. So we can vet women out so we don't deal with the women who want us for exterior type of reasons. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and get into this video, man, and react to it.
Okay, I got a story time for y'all. And yes, this is a dating story. I got a story to tell. And I want y'all opinion on it. It's gonna have to be broken up in a couple of parts. I try to see if I can fit it all in one. It's not gonna happen. So follow me and stay with me and pay attention, because I want to know your opinion. Let's get into it. So there's a time I was dating this guy. I met him at church. He went to my church and he knew like of my parents and stuff like that, and I met him at a church function and he got my number and he wanted to date me. And I was like, okay, you know, he's not somebody I would normally go with. He wasn't like not attractive, but he...
All right, so red flag number one. You always want to be a woman's first option. You know, with the whole church thing, you know, y'all know, if you've been to church, you know how it is, right? Like you go to church and your auntie comes up like, oh, I got this woman I want you to meet. And you know, every time your auntie see you, she introduced you to the same person. And it's like what Drake said, being reintroduced to people I've been introduced to. So my whole point of saying that is that a lot of times when you're not a woman's first option, when she doesn't choose you first, it's always going to be some kind of difficulty that falls behind that. That's why you want a woman that is interested in you off rip. You know, there's always going to be that medium interest type of vibe going on to where, you know, she'll go out with you, but she's not all the way sold and you still kind of got to sell her. I'm not really interested in women. Like, I don't really want to convince you. So that's not my type of deal, but I digress. Let's go ahead and get back into the video.
He just wasn't normally the type I would go with. But you know what? In the name of dating and finding somebody, let's do it, right? He seemed like a nice guy. Boom. Let's do it. Exchange numbers. Started talking on the phone, started getting to know each other and setting up when we're gonna go out on a date. But the whole time, like, we were talking and stuff, it just kind of really wasn't clicking. Like, our conversations were kind of like, I felt like I was pulling out conversations. It just didn't.
So actually, this is not even her fault. This is bruh man's fault. So, you know, you as a man, you need to be able to lead the conversation, right? For me, when I'm leading a conversation and the woman's just giving me one word answers or whatever, then I know, okay, this is not my type. So the whole point of me saying that is, if y'all are not connecting on the phone or FaceTime after y'all just meet, you're probably not gonna connect in person. Because I'm gonna tell you guys this, right? There's been times where I would FaceTime with a woman and I knew in my head, like, dang, I don't even really, like, she's talking to me, but I know we don't connect, and I'll still go out with her. But then when I go out with her, it's the same vibe. So what I learned from this is that if it's not connecting on the phone and not flowing on the phone, it's not going to connect in person. Because I've tested this theory. Because I've went out with women where it didn't work on the phone. It wasn't connecting. It was like, it wasn't like I was pulling teeth, but it just wasn't no connection. So when we got out in person, I wasn't shocked. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's it. That's kind of that's on him. He just don't know how to have a conversation. And, you know, again, I digress. Let's go on and continue the video.
Didn't see much of a connection, but I said, you know what? Connection sometimes takes time. Let's keep going. It's different for me, but dare to do something different. Dare to try something different, right? Talking to this man, we finally go on our first date. And I guess because he knows my family background, where I come from, the type of family that I come from, the first day he picks me up and we're going to go to the movies. He picks me up. He's like, I want to take you to the mall. Let's go to the mall first. And I'm like, okay. So we go to the mall. He was like, yeah.
Hey, we shouldn't even have to discuss this. What's the 2 mistakes he done made already? First of all, the movies is not a date. That's what are we in high school? Like we in high. That's what high schoolers do. That's what teenagers and middle schoolers do. They go to the movies on a date. You can't talk in a movie. What's the point of going to the movies on a first date? That's insane. You can't have no type of conversation. That's almost like going to the club late at night on a first date where the music is super loud and there's drinks flowing. That's not a good date option. You want to go somewhere where you can conversate and have fun at the same time. And then 2, this shows me that he feels like he has to buy her because why are we going to the mall? Like, what are we doing? But again, I digress. Let's go ahead and get back into the video.
He was like, yeah, get anything you want. I was like, no, that's okay. You know, I'd rather just, go to the movies like we planned. He was like, no. You know, it's a gift from me to you. Pick anything you want. What you want?
Yeah. So she's trying to save him from spending his money. Shout out to this woman. She's trying to save him from spending his money. Most women won't do that. Most women be like, okay, let's go spend the money. But she's trying to save him and he's still like, no, nah. This is my gift from me to you. And that's not a good sign to a woman. She's trying to prevent you from doing that. And you're still going along with it, thinking that, okay, let me try to impress her. A woman is not impressed by that because you're disrespecting yourself. Because who in their right mind, who's in a logical mind space, will buy gifts from the mall for a woman you're going on a first date with? That doesn't even make no sense. That's somebody you do for somebody you're in a relationship with or a long-term situation, or that's your wife, not first date.
Nothing. I just kind of want to go to the movies like we said we want to go to. No. He was real adamant on me picking something out in the store. So he's walking around all these different departments, the pocketbook department, the shoe department, the fragrance department, like anything you want, get something. It's on me. I got it. So call this a little first date gift. I was like, nah, I'm cool. I don't want anything. I kind of just want to go to the movies, like we talked about. He was adamant, so I was like, fine. I just pointed to whatever perfume was near me. Fine, give me this. He's like, you sure that's what you want? Yep, give me that. He buys the perfume. He's like, all right, cool. He's all happy. Like, yeah, you like it? And I'm like,
that's crazy. Literally, she said, hey, I'll just give me the perfume. Just give me the perfume. She's at this point, she's literally just picking something out so he can feel all excited. And she already knew that he was gonna be acting like that. Cause now he like, oh, you like your gift? You like your gift? So now he think he getting cool points, but really you in the negatives. He thinking that he rising up, but really he going under the ground. You going into the basement. He think he winning, but he losing. That's how delusional homeboy is. That's crazy. Hey man, somebody direct him to my channel.
I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. But can we just go to the movies like we talked about? We go to the movies. We're sitting in movies. First date. We're in the movies, and he's like all like slouching in his chair. He's like all laying all over me, rubbing my leg and all that. And I'm like, chill out. This is our first date or whatever. And it's like, cool, you want to kind of like sit closer together and all that. Cool. I feel the vibe. Like, it is what it is. But we gonna remain, at a certain level. We're not gonna cross no lines because it's the first time I'm
And I know this is a very extreme situation, but we can all learn from this, right? When it comes to escalation, when you're on a first date with a woman, first of all, when you're on any date with the woman you've never been sexually involved with, what's the point of trying to get physical when you're out in public? What, you gonna smash her in the movie theaters? What you gonna, like, come on, like, what, again, are we in high school? You gotta escalate with women because it's a first date. So you have to be able to close the gap. You have to make a woman feel comfortable and relaxed first. And then if y'all have fun on a date, if you wasn't at the movies, after the date, cool. Hey, would you be open to coming to my crib? We can play a little Uno, have a little wine. Oh yeah, that sounds good. You go back, and then that's when you close the gap by having good conversation, flowing, being chill, not being too pushy. And that's the reason why he bought all that stuff from the mall, because he thinking now like, oh, I'm up, I should be able to do whatever. So now he feeling comfortable.
Like, actually out with you, like, we're not doing this. So we leave the movies, and then he takes me back home, and he's like, could I use the bathroom? Fellas, y'all already know, y'all know what this is. Can I use the bathroom? Sure, come use the bathroom. He comes use the bathroom. Then he's lingering around, and I'm like, okay, well, you better get on the road because it's late and you need to get home. So he was like, oh, can I get a hug? Church hugging, like, okay.
I'm like, is this guy a grown man or is he a kid? That's crazy, man. First off, you're trying to pull tricks to get what you want. You already hit her with, oh, can I go to the bathroom? First of all, you should be seeing. First of all, I'm not even gonna pick you up on the first date. First off, I'm not even picking you up. You need to be in a position where you are already by your crib, so that way after the date, hey, like I said, you want to go back to the spot, we can play some Uno, play some cards, have a little wine, have some good conversation. Do that instead of trying to go in the back door. You trying to go in the back door. And she seems like a pretty cool woman, but you doing she giving you chance after chance after chance after chance. She tried not to spend your money, but you insisted on doing that. You took her to the movies where you can't conversate. You tried to push up on her. She said, hey, chill out. And then she lets you in the crib to use the bathroom, and now you trying to finesse like we in high school.
And he's like, can I get a kiss? Sir, good night. Good night. So from there, it was kind of like date was so-so. But again, I'm pushing myself. Date somebody different, Dom. Date somebody different. So we talk on the phone. He calls me, all the time. We're talking on the phone, trying to get to know each other. But a lot of the conversations, it's like I'm like really leading the conversation. I'm really pulling out the conversation. It's just, other than me leading it, we're sitting on the phone just in silence. And I'm like, this is crazy because I'm an easy person to talk to. And I can talk to people easily. Like, I talk to people, strangers all the time. Hey, I can do this. I'm like, why is it so weird that I feel like I gotta pull conversation from him? But you're calling me every day, but then you're not saying nothing.
Alright, so I'm not gonna play the rest of the video. If y'all want to see it, y'all can go to her TikTok. I think it's 2 parts to it, but he pretty much continues the same type of behavior. So we kind of get the point, right? So I'll just pretty much say this, right? First of all, you blowing her line up with nothing to say is insane. The phone, shout out to Coach Corey Wayne, is for setting dates. You should just be trying to set dates. But this is all a message to guys, is like, you ain't gotta try to prove yourself. You want to be seeing if this woman likes me. You don't want to you don't want to be doing things to where you can't even get a feel for how this woman feels. Because the reason why he blowing her line up is because he's trying to make sure, is she still there? Is she still there? Is she still there? Is she still there? That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to make sure, because he's calling, but he has nothing to say. So this woman is clearly, and usually I'm not a big fan of a woman who is not interested in me at first and she kind of like has to be convinced. I'm not a big fan of that. But she seems like she's trying to give him a chance and he just keeps ruining it. Don't try to go to a woman's crib after the first date, because you don't know if she can set you up. She got a crazy ex. So you don't even want to put yourself in that position. That's why we preach, get her closer to your spot, because at your spot, you're in control. You know what I'm saying? You're in control. You don't want to go to a woman's spot after the first date, because even if you get in there, ain't nothing finna go down. Get her to your spot in your comfort zone. You need to be able to lead the conversation, but bigger picture, you gotta have something bigger going on with your life. Because if you don't, you ain't got nothing to talk about. Obviously, he don't do much with his life. He may have money, but you ain't got nothing to talk about, which is insane. You going to the movies on a first date, don't ever do that. Why would you go somewhere where you cannot talk or conversate? So these are the little things that we can learn. I know some of y'all like, oh Josh, we know this already. But again, y'all hear me say this on like every video. We need to be vetting the woman out to see, is this woman for me or is she not for me? So when you leave with your money, you're trying to prove yourself, you're trying to cater to her, you won't be able to see that because she's gonna end up canceling you and ghosting you. You know what I'm saying? So like I say in every video, guys, continue to put yourself first. All right, guys, that's my video for today, man. I appreciate you guys for coming over to the channel as always. Guys, make sure you continue to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'm gone.